Guys, there is nothing like the perfectly made ginger snap. It's beautiful. Little cracks in the top, the glistening sparkle of the sugar on the outside, and the beautiful snap it makes when you bite into it. Ginger snap cookies.
Howdy folks, welcome back to Texas Cooking Today. Guys, on this episode we're going to be making some ginger snaps. This is a wonderful holiday treat. Mom used to do this for us when I was a boy each and every year. And I have to admit, I can't say that I had a favorite cookie when it came to her cookies because they were just all so delicious. The ginger snaps were very memorable. I remember how hard and crisp they were. And I remember that sharp flavor of spice that they had. It was wonderful. And I wanted to share this recipe of my mother's with you. So today we're going to be making an absolutely fantastic cookie. So I'll tell you what, let's get on in the kitchen. Let me show you what we're using to make these delicious cookies. And let's mix us up a batch of ginger snaps. Come on guys, let's go. Okay guys, here we are with our beautiful ingredients. Now this is a fairly basic recipe when it comes to ginger snaps, but you need to get the exact measurement on your ingredients, and then B, you're going to have to follow these directions very, very carefully, because if you don't do the proper cool down, it's not going to work. If you don't warm the butter the right way, it's not going to work. So guys, it's all about harmony on this particular recipe. So first off, let me tell you all about our ingredients. What we have here, this is 2 1/2 cups of flour, 3/4 of a cup of granulated sugar, and 1/2 a cup of molasses. Oh man, that stuff is so good tasting. And what I have here, this is 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 2 teaspoons of ground ginger, and 1/4 of a teaspoon of cloves. Over here, 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt, 1 egg. Now the first thing I have done is I've taken this butter, I've cut it up and put it right down in here. This is 3/4 of a cup of butter. Okay guys, now let's get on with sifting our flour out. The idea of sifting flour is to make sure there's A, no lumps in it, and B, to lighten it, to kind of aerate the flour, as it were, which makes the whole dish a little lighter and fluffier when you work it together in a mixer. Look in the bottom here guys, you see this? As I was telling you, sometimes you'll get little clumps of flour, and sure enough, that's what we had here. And this is one of the reasons we sift. Now let's go ahead and get the rest of our ingredients in here. There's our salt. What I've got here, my spices in there. Watch what I do. It's simple. I just use my whisk to work those in, and that's all it's going to take. It doesn't have to go really any beyond this, okay? Okay guys, our butter has become room temperature and it is very soft, okay? Now I'm going to crank this up. We're going to get it creamed. Come over here and take a look inside, guys. There we go. So as you see, that beater is just going to sit and work that until it gets nice and soft. Now I'm going to speed it up so we can really get it going here. Now apparently I have a couple of my viewers who think I'm channeling Bob Ross. Hey, what a compliment. That's really cool. Thank you. Now guys, when you're adding your sugar, you don't want to dump it in all at once. Just a little at a time. So it's running at a moderate speed now, about medium. We're going to do that for just about 30 seconds, and then I'm going to add a little bit, if not all, of that molasses. We're going to do it again, and we're just going to slowly work this out and turn this into a wonderful, light, fluffy medium before we put the flour in it.
It really teaches when you're right over that mixer. I learned that as a kid, and I carry it with me as an adult, and that's the reason I teach this way. I'm going to add a little more of the sugar very slowly. If you dump it in too quick when you're running at a speed like this, it's going to kick it out at you guys. So very gently let those grains fall. Isn't that beautiful? I'm going to slow it down. It's time to put that egg in. I've got about a little more than half of the sugar and a little more than half of my molasses. So in goes the egg. I want to let it process, and I slow it down because that egg is got a light viscosity and it'll get thrown out if I don't. When we are doing this, we want to make it light and fluffy. My mother's instructions were quite clear, and she was generally dead on when it came to baking instructions. Okay guys, we now have a beautiful light and fluffy mixture. I'm going to slowly work in those dry ingredients. Guys, this has only been just a few seconds of mixing, about what, 30 to 40 seconds there. Get the rest of that just turned real nice. And one thing I'm going to do is I am not going to leave this dough in a ball in the bottom. I want to have it kind of pushed up around the sides a little bit because I have to refrigerate it, guys. While this is a beautiful dough, it is sticky, it's wet, and I need to get it to firm up before it's going to bake up the way it needs to do, okay? Okay guys, it has been 2 hours now. Like I said, put this in the fridge for at least 1 hour or more. Try not to go over about 4 hours. You don't want your leavening to die on you, basically. In other words, to get you exhausted. But on this, what we need to do now, have this beautiful batter. It has gotten thick because I refrigerated it. So I want to take it, pull it up, make a little ball, okay, just like this. And while it's still cool, douse it in the sugar and press it out on my sheet. Now that one was a little bit small there. And I want to press these just before I cook them, but basically I'm not going to press them all the way. They're just going to be kind of partially pressed down, just like so. Okay guys, so it's a really, really simple thing. You know, don't overwork that, okay? So there's your nice little close-up on it. You can kind of see how they're done. And what I'm making here is about a 3/4 of an inch to 1 inch diameter ball. And to scoop, I'm just using your regular everyday spoon. However, remember, it doesn't always work perfect. There we go. This will give you a little more uniform appearance on those. And you don't want to press them flat, guys. You just kind of want to get them started, all right? Because remember, they are refrigerated and thick. So this gives them their kind of beginning in their shape. From there, they will shape themselves. Now, it's a matter of getting this in the oven. There we go. All right, guys, right there. That's going to be in there for about 12 to 15 minutes. After that, we're going to pull them out. I'm going to let them set on the pan for about a minute after I pull them out of the oven. And then we're going to put them on a cooling rack. Oh, there it is, guys. Beautiful, beautiful Gingersnap cookies. Now, this one. Isn't that beautiful? See the customary cracks in the surface of it? That's very normal for a ginger snap. All of the things I've just shown you, chilling your dough, the prep exactly the way it is, yields this wonderful, crunchy little cookie. Mmm. Nice snap to it. And as it cools further, it'll harden to a crisp crunch. Oh my God, that flavor is so good. These wonderful, wonderful tones. Here's you a holiday treat for your kids. Gingersnap cookies. Please don't hold back on this one. Let them have it. It's a wonderful recipe. This is an old world recipe, folks. I believe this one dates back to Grandma or before. Guys, I would like to say thank you very much for watching Texas Cooking today. Thank you.
to my subscribers, and please, if you would, just click like, leave a comment, a question. I'll gladly answer for you if I do have time, and most of them, if you've noticed, I do my best. Well, thank you very much for watching again, and folks, if you would, one last thing, just have a good day. Bye-bye.